Hi everyone, I'm Mark Murray and welcome to this very special edition of CityVision, our 5th anniversary show if you can believe it. We shot the very first one on December 17, 2009, and we've done more than 40 shows since. We've taken you into every city department. We've even given you a front seat to many of the city projects. And we even got a little personal, talking about issues like weight loss and even my battle with prostate cancer. But for this particular show, it wasn't much of a struggle to figure out who should be on it. A special show like this needs a special guest, or more, and we'll meet them on the other side. And as promised, a special show needs special guests, and I have with me today City Manager Joshua Smith. Joshua, how are you doing? And
fine,
Tim
Mark.
Werdmann, our Deputy City Manager.
Good afternoon.
All right, and we're here in the beautiful Mercantile Lofts, which was, gosh, a shell when we first came in here a couple of years ago to do a show, just to show what everything was going on in this building. And gentlemen, what do you think of this? I mean, this is amazing. And we love showing off this space. So what do you think about the Mercantile Lofts, how it all came about, how it all ended up?
Well, in my opinion, it was the catalytic project since I've been in Hamilton to reinvigorate downtown Hamilton. I think when you look at the level of detail that went into this building, the fact that it's been consistently rented or leased in the 3 years that it's been open, tells that there is a demand for downtown Hamilton that a lot of people, I think, actually were second guessing 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah,
no, it's beautiful space, no question.
Well, I would just add, I mean, I've worked for the city for 11 years, and for the first 7 to 8 years that I worked for the city, it seemed like it was 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and then when this finally started to go and this got renovated, I think this really, as Joshua said, was catalytic for the rest of High Street.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, this is one of many projects that's gone on here in Hamilton in the last several years, in the 3 years since this place has been open. And we're going to check out a few more here. All right, having just left the Mercantile Lofts, of course, we can't help but notice that, we walked past Ardolph Sims, we were past Milliken and Fitton, and of course, Community Design Alliance, 3 new businesses right on High Street. And now we're right here in beautiful Sarah's house. And Joshua, what do you want to tell us about that?
I think that Sarah's house was one of the first significant projects that was accomplished by the Hamilton Core Fund, which stands for Consortium for Ongoing Reinvestment Efforts in Downtown Hamilton. I believe that High Street, this block of High Street in particular, is critical when you look at what we were trying to accomplish. I think it would be very remiss of myself not to talk about the partnerships that enabled a project like Sarah's House to happen. You have the Core Fund that we talked about. You have the Hamilton Community Foundation, which has been with the Core Fund and the City of Hamilton every step of the way. Obviously, Mike Dingledine is the Executive Director of the Core Fund. The Hamilton Area Chamber of Commerce, so many other entities that have played a very significant role in what you see in the 200 block of High Street. Yeah,
it's pretty impressive. Okay, and we're going to take a walk and go see what next?
I would like to go to the Lane Library Technology Center downtown, which has been open for approximately a year now, and showcase that.
In one of my fiber optic projects, actually.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
We'll be right back. Well, I just want to explain to our viewing audience that we are actually watching Tim Werdmann and Joshua Smith playing chess, and those pieces were made with a 3D printer here at the Lane Library's Community Technology Center. Made possible in part because of the fiber optic network that the City of Hamilton actually owns. I mean, Joshua, what can we say about the Lane Technology Center? I mean, this is pretty impressive.
Well, I think this was one of those investments that was made in the 200 block of High Street that really lent itself well to what we're trying to accomplish. I would also be remiss not to say that my favorite local artist, Stephen Smith, did this painting right behind my head here. But when you think about the type of office and businesses that we're trying to, office uses and business uses that we're trying to capture in downtown Hamilton, having a facility like the Lane Library Technology Center is very, very critical in making that happen. To have the technology that's available right here within walking distance of the businesses that we're trying to get, like a Life Ray that's immediately above us in the second floor of the Robinson Schwinn building, the entire U.S. sales department for their North American sales is located right above us. Having this facility here was one of the things they looked at when making a decision on where to locate.
And if you at home don't have your Lane Library card, you ought to get one and check this place out. It's pretty nice.
Absolutely.
All right, where are we going to go next?
I think True West Coffee, which is right next door to us.
Okay, well, let's do that. You know, of course, here we are in the Robinson Schwinn building, and we are actually in True West right now. And I mean, really, what does it mean to a city like Hamilton, where True West had one location just up the street, and then they decide to come down here and open up another shop?
Well, I think
that's huge.
That is huge, and that just underscores the commitments the Cannons have to the Hamilton community. They have been tremendous assets of downtown business owners. They've been tremendous in a variety of civic fronts. Their willingness, as you said, to open a second storefront, probably only a mile away from their original storefront, was very impressive. And to me, this is one of the anchor institutions we have in downtown Hamilton.
All right, Joshua, where are we going to go to next?
Butler Tech, which is right behind the Robinson Schwinn building where we're standing.
Great, we haven't been there yet. And now this, the Butler Tech School of the Arts, used to be the home of the Journal News here in Hamilton, correct?
It was, yes.
And I mean, the transition here has just been amazing.
I think it's interesting to even go back and a little further in time and talk about how this project even happened. When the Journal News made the announcement that they were moving to Liberty Township and they were consolidating, or Cox Media was consolidating their office space, we had met with a realtor out of Yellow Springs, Ohio, that was representing Cox Media across their entire footprint. And they made it clear to us that they did not want an empty building in our downtown, which was consistent with our vision also. And I know that it was very important to our citizens to see this building that had been in active use for 50, 100 years, not just to turn into another dark building.
Sure.
So again, you can't stop talking about the different groups of people that came together, from the core fund, the foundation. I can remember having many Saturday afternoon phone calls with the realtor on this project, but just having a lot of people. But I think it's important to note it was Steve Kuhn, the group, and his group, that the ones that did the mercantile lofts. Sure. Absolutely, that not only did the Robinson Schwinn, where we were just at, looking at the Lane Library Technology Center in this building. You know, we're very fortunate as a community to have someone of his historical expertise that can come into a building like this and get it done.
Couldn't agree more. All right, this stop on our tour takes us to the old Ringles Furniture Building, and soon to be the new headquarters for Community First Solutions. Joshua, this is well, you talk about huge for True West. Look at this.
Absolutely, it's Jeff Thurman, the president and CEO of Community First Solutions, has been such a tremendous advocate for Hamilton, and specifically downtown Hamilton. But to take his headquarters and consolidate some of their offices, put it right in the heart of downtown into a building that had been unoccupied for the past 7 years, it's just a tremendous win for the city as a whole.
Well, I think the hope is with more workers in the downtown area, that businesses like Sarah's House, businesses like True West that have already kind of staked an outpost are going to have a customer base that is going to serve them well, and the downtown area is going to grow as a whole. So I think it's great that we're going to reactivate some space down here.
Great, great. All right, and I understand that we're going to bring this full circle by heading back to Community Design Alliance. So let's do that. Okay, here we are back in the comfortable surroundings of CDA's kitchen area. I think we've ended a show in here a couple times. Joshua, everything that we've seen today, really, from what I know working here in this city, it's just a fraction of what's going on. What else?
Absolutely, Mark. I think if you look at several of the projects downtown that we have seen today, but we've not talked about so many others, the fact that the Core Fund has acquired the former Fifth Third building, the former Elder Bierman building, which constitutes well over 200,000 square feet of active or real estate that should be activated here in the next 12 to 24 months. I mean, that really tells a very strong story of where downtown Hamilton's going. The fact that we've been working in conjunction with the Hamilton Community Foundation acquiring properties on East High Street as the city completes its $9 million investment into the gateway into our downtown, or just the fact that we have invested in 3 new splash pads in the last 8 months, and that we'll be investing in our 4th splash pad here in the next few months over at Crawford Woods Park area. But I think there's a lot of very positive capital investment happening in the community. I think it speaks very strongly to the fact that that we believe in Hamilton, and when you believe in something, you invest in it.
Now, what about the future? What do you see, say, looking 5 years out?
Well, I mean, I would throw in there that it's not just pure capital investment that we're putting into the community. It's also investment in the businesses in the community. You take a look at the old City Hall building and what we've done with what used to be BizTech and is now the Hamilton Mill. That's been partially city-driven, but there's also a lot of partners in that. But what we're trying to do is get high-tech companies, small startup companies to move into that space and hopefully take root not just there, but in the city of Hamilton itself. So, you know, Joshua talks about a lot of capital projects. They're not just capital-intensive projects, it's also projects that we're undertaking to try to change the face of Hamilton.
Okay, when we talk about investment, let's talk about the greening of Hamilton, the hydroelectric power, the compressed natural gas station that's going to be open up here, the first of its kind in the region. What does that say about Hamilton? What are you guys hearing?
Well, I think for one thing, by mid-2015, we're going to be able to say the city of Hamilton, 70% of our power is non-carbon emitting green energy. I think that there are very few places in America, certainly cities of our size, that are going to be able to say that going forward. Our hope is that from an economic development standpoint that we can attract data centers and other high energy users that are interested in that green energy and bring those sorts of businesses to the city of Hamilton. So that's huge for us.
Absolutely.
Furthermore, I think that when you look at an area's carbon footprint and the fact that ours is being reduced on an annualized basis, and you couple that with the other natural resources that we have, such as abundant, great tasting water, the fact that our natural gas rates have been consistently the lowest in the state of Ohio for almost 2 decades now, it's almost a perfect storm. And we need to continue to leverage and capitalize on those utility type assets we have, the fact, as you said, that we are greening our community on a very expedited schedule, and that that the future, I mean, for us is bright if we continue to leverage those strengths and we continue to invest wisely in our infrastructure.
And I would say also, I mean, it's not just economic development, it's quality of life projects.
Live, work, and play. That's
quality of life is a huge part of what we're trying to accomplish. If you look at what's been done at River's Edge Amphitheater and the summer concert series that we've undertaken in the last couple of years and how that's grown, and the re-emphasis that we have on the river, as you know, with the Great Miami Rowing Club, you know, they are renting kayaks during the summer concert series, re-energizing that area of downtown. It's not just economic development, it's also quality of life. And all those things mesh together, as you said, in conjunction with what we're trying to do with the strategic plan.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I know you're both very, very busy, but again, I only thought it was the best way to capitalize on the fact that this is the 5th anniversary show. So, Joshua, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
And Tim, thank you
Thanks,
very
Mark.
much. Well, that wraps this edition of CityVision, our 5th anniversary show. And I'm glad you're along for the walk. It was a good tour. And we hope to be able to bring you more projects here at the City of Hamilton. And as always, we always like to thank you for tuning into TV Hamilton, hometown television with a personal touch. I'm Mark Murray. Thanks for watching.